Welcome back to Virtuous Woman TV. In today's video, we are going to be talking again about Young Thug and Mariah the Scientist and what may be next. Couple. So started, please like this video. Make sure that you are subscribed to this channel and also that you have your notification bells on. So, okay, so let's talk about the turn of events, right? We're pretty much done with the jail calls. Young Thug did his big one, and he got it all off his chest. So whatever comes out after that, it's just par for the course, right? Then comes this whole big thing about him allegedly cheating on Mariah the Scientist. So we're going to break that down and talk about it a little bit. If I didn't say so already because I can't remember, go ahead and like the video. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel and also that you have your notification bells on. So simps all over the world, right? And to me, a simp is equivalent to a pick-me, right? In that it's a man going against other men just for the sake of it, right? There's no reason why a man should be making videos about Young Thug cheating on Mariah the Scientist while in jail, or allegedly trying to get another woman pregnant, because we know that niggas be talking a lot of shit, and it ain't even just jail talk. A lot of these so-called unwanted babies that's running around here that women allegedly had on their own recognizance, a lot of them came out of them flirtatious conversations about niggas wanting somebody to have their baby. So we're gonna get into that because people are making it seem like it's a much bigger intentional thing than what it is. And I think this is a good time to break into the conversation about niggas having cap-ass conversations with women altogether, right? First things first, Mariah the Scientist knows that Young Thug was dealing with other women. That's off top. First of all, this is not the first jail conversation that was leaked. I don't know if you guys remember last year, but her phone call was leaked with him when she was doing that "Are you my baby" type thing. And around the same time, he had a video call with another Mexican or Latina looking chick. So it's very clear that Young Thug deals with multiple women. In addition, if Young Thug and Mariah didn't have a solidified, committed relationship before he went to jail, it doesn't matter that she stuck around. All this holding a man down, she didn't hold him down. She didn't put money on his books. She didn't sustain him. All she did was be available for those phone calls. Young Thug got his own money, just like Papoose didn't hold Remy Ma down. These people are taking care of themselves. If you choose to keep them company because you're their friend or their lover, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you should be doing. But don't act like it was some huge burden for Mariah the Scientist to sit on the phone with a millionaire while he fights a case and while she potentially sets up her career. Her whole goal is to set up a career. Whether or not she's interested in Young Thug, we don't know that. And we won't know that. Now, like I said, you can get tied up into an emotional bond or a trauma bond with a man, and you can get addicted on the emotional energy, or you can get addicted on being friends with somebody, right? And being there for somebody. But until that person is out of their low space and out of their trauma, even when it comes to being a rebound, until they're completely clear of that energy, you don't really know how they feel about you or how they feel about you guys' relationship, because you just haven't built to that point. You haven't built that level of energy. He's not really fully focused on you. He's not really zeroed in on you enough to make a choice about you. So yeah, the first years or even 2 years sometimes that you're dating a man, particularly a man who's coming out of another situation, for one, and then a man who's going through a troublesome time, for two, if you choose to kick it with that man or be with that man, you got to realize that that time is just, doesn't count, because it's not about you. No matter if he's flirting with you, if he's giving you attention, you're just a distraction. He's using you maybe to heal or just to take his mind off some things. And I'm not saying using you with any nefarious intention. I'm just saying that it's not really time for him to know you or to own in on your needs. And during this time, a man may give you money, he may take you out. That's him paying for your time that he's using, because again, he's emotionally unavailable and he's not really focused in on who you are as a person, how he can meet your needs, if he can meet your needs, and need I say, whether or not he likes you, right? So the entire time that Young Thug was in jail is not counted towards his and Mariah's relationship. And this depiction of her holding him down, she did not hold him down. He didn't need her. He had other women and utilized them as well. So what's the difference between what she did for him and what other women might have done for him, other than the fact that he came out and solidified a public relationship with her that worked well for both of them? She worked to soften up his image, and he's working to get her career off the ground. I always say that even when it comes to people like Diddy and other single men in the industry, the reason why these men suffer such harsh judgment is because they're not settled down, because they're uncommitted. So even though they do things that are well within their single status, them looking like old bachelors automatically makes them look sleazy. So when a man has a woman on his arm who pretty much doesn't have a bad reputation, Mariah, the scientist, she dated Lil Yachty, whatever that was about. But she hasn't been, Lori Harvey in it out of here. She hasn't made her rounds yet, but she probably will. Now she's just at the beginning. You know what I mean? She's a beginner sack chaser because she doesn't really need it. From what I understand, she grew up. Her father was a police officer for the Atlanta or Fulton County Police Department. I don't know what her mom did, but it seems for the most part she had a decent upbringing. She was in college studying her bioscience, whatever she was doing, whatever, right? Perfect for the image of a person who's getting out of jail on a 15-year probation on a RICO charge for being a gang member. Now, if he was smart, he would have solidified his relationship by getting with the kids, right? Same thing as he told Future. You need to focus 100% on your kids and not be locked in with these bitches. Well, if you wanted to clean your image, you could have easily turned that attention towards your kid. They could have easily taken up some of that lost time that was taken from them when you went to jail. But you didn't do that. You locked in on the career that you were trying to create for yourself and for Mariah the scientist. Understandable. Niggas want to be seen. Niggas want to be heard. And they don't want the subdued nature that comes with being a family man. They just don't, right? Now, they have had outings and pictures with him and Mariah the scientist and the kids looking like one big happy family. But again, that picture doesn't even look permanent. How can a woman that's young and beautiful and talented settle on a man who has 8 kids? Come on now, make it make sense. So the relationship is temporary to begin with, right? Now we're going to get into the conversation about him asking the other girl to have his baby or trying to start a family. First of all, this is what you niggas need to know. All niggas do this. And it don't take jail. First of all, there's an element of niggas wanting to trap women, right? Because you got to understand, a man who wants you to have his baby but is not trying to be in a marriage or a relationship with you, but he's talking about a baby, it means that he just wants you there. You know what I mean? He likes your energy. He likes your body. He likes your essence, but he doesn't want to commit to you. But having a baby is a sure way to lock you into his life for life without him ever having to offer you a commitment. That's why I tell every woman that I come across, if you gave birth to a baby and that man doesn't want to be with you, never ever fuck with him again. Don't sleep with him on the side. Don't spite his girlfriends, because you've already given him the highest honor. There's no place to go from there. So let that shit go, right? So there's the trapping element. But the other trapping element is the flirtation part. There's nothing, regardless of how people want to think, there's nothing sexier than talking about having babies with somebody that you're romantically involved with. It's foreplay. I mean, the idea of merging souls, merging bodies, and creating a human life, it's human nature. I think it's our primal instinct to want to procreate. So that ain't no different than having a conversation about, yeah, I'm about to eat your pussy and I'm about to do this and that to you. It's no different. But that baby element, adds that sense of permanence. It adds that sense of security emotionally and makes a woman feel desired. But at the end of the day, it's still just flirting. Now, some of us women bite that conversation. I bit that conversation. And some of us really believe that that's what these men want. And in a way, it is what they want because they're putting it in the ethers. That's why people need to watch their fucking mouth. Because even though you're making the statement to me, you're still making the statement to the universe. And you're still manifesting a child or a permanent relationship or a creative endeavor to be born between us. So that's why men need to be careful about what they're talking about, especially when there's emotions attached to it. When you're dealing with trauma, you're going through some heavy times, your energy is all fucked up. All of that goes into manifestations. Just because you're downtrodden and not feeling at your highest vibration doesn't mean that you're not utilizing vital energy. You know what I mean? So when you are going through a tough time, sometimes it is better to be quiet. It's better to just close your mouth so that you're not bringing things on you that you don't really want or that you don't really mean. Now, if Young Thug is on the phone conversation with a girl and he says, what you doing? When you want to have kids? And she like, shit, I'm having with you. I'm having when you come home. And he like, I bet. That's not him planning to have a family with another woman. And so for all the men who are putting a 2 on the 10 and trying to make it that, all the blogs and the headlines trying to make it that, you guys are simps or fags. Period, point blank. Because a real nigga know that that's not a plan to have a family. That's just some flirting, some jawsing, some talking shit to a broad. It is what it is. At the end of the day, Mariah the Scientist knew he was talking to multiple women. That's the quickest way to keep a bitch emotionally tied to a conversation that lacks substance. Now, it's weird because a lot of women are like, yeah, you know, she was just giggling on the phone with him like a fan. And well, why y'all didn't call Ernesto side chick a fan? When it came down to Big Shirley or whatever her name is and Ernesto, it was looked at as Shirley was his mother and he was so enamored with this side chick. But Mariah the Scientist is not getting that same rap. Why is she not looked at as his mammy and his mother and this side chick getting all the best of him in his conversation? It's always some kind of fucked up ass double standard when it comes to women. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, Mariah the Scientist was carrying his emotional burdens in those phone conversations. She wasn't talking about getting her pussy ate and getting banged out when she get home and all the money she was spending and future plans about her career. We haven't got to that part if it was talked about. She was talking about his grievances and his gripes and his secret hidden emotions and resentments. All of that was transferred off of him and put firmly onto her plate for her to hold. So if it was any holding down, it was holding down from that perspective, which she may or may not have had that opportunity to do if he was in jail or not. Eventually it comes to that. You be around a nigga long enough, eventually you're gonna get his secrets. Now, he's in a constricted environment like jail, you're gonna get him a lot sooner. But again, that's you getting the responsibility of him a lot sooner. There's no benefit that she has from knowing that man's secrets, other than to look like she's a woman that can hold his secrets and she's a woman that can be trusted, or she's in collusion with him. That's it. It doesn't cement the bonds because it didn't stop him from talking about having babies with other women or talking to other women. It didn't do anything, right? And so now, just as I said in my last video, she does her first concert, mind you, after canceling her tour. Why are you canceling your tour? Because of what this man is going through. This is your time to really capitalize and get in your bag. Women are not going to respect that. You know, we're dealing with an age of women, at least as far as social media is concerned, that's all about perseverance. That's all about replacing men. They're applauding women like Cardi B being pregnant by another man while she's married. They're applauding women like Cash Doll getting in another relationship with a man while she has 2 kids under the age of 5 and 1 kid under the age of 1. Women, for some reason, feel inspired by this, you know, avoidant behavior. They don't want to see no woman sitting up, laid up, crying and sad about a man that she had no business being with in the first place. So you do need to pick up your feelings, and you need to present that quote unquote empowered image of a woman, because nobody's resonating with where you're coming from now. They're not thinking about another sad love song, especially when you were allegedly committing a girl crime against Glorilla. You know, when you're on the phone with him talking about how this girl is ugly, and he like, girl, you said it, I didn't say it. You clocked. You clocked. So nobody's buying it. The best thing that you could do is get all the way into your bag. Take whatever advantage you got from the situation. Close your legs. Don't continue to get dragged and used up by a man that's taking you nowhere fast. You can get with another nigga in the industry. It's always a simp willing to rescue you, waiting for you. You ain't gonna have no problem with that because you have visibility now. But once you let the likes of Young Thug drag you down and cement his presence in your life to the point where other men feel too loyal to him to date you, then you fucking up your options. A woman always fucks up her options when she goes public with an overbearing man who's not even committed himself, but he's making you commit because he's obliterating your options by associating himself with you in the presence of other men who respect or fear him. And that's the shit you gotta watch out for. You know what I mean? So it's not about taking an emotional tone when it comes to the relationship between her and Young Thug. She doesn't need to be crying and sitting up heartbroken because you knew he was talking to other women. He was in jail. You guys are not actually together. Your time clock does not start until he starts being emotionally available to you. That's when the relationship starts. And if you find out at some point he can't offer you that, which you will around 8 months, a year, you'll know if he's tapped into you. He gonna tap out. He can't hold that facade past the time of his healing of whatever it is he linked with you for. He not gonna be able to hold that face for you. So you're gonna find out, right? So you don't need to play this broken role because it's fake and it's a facade. What you need to do is X that nigga out, revamp your tour, go get back in your bag, go get your money, and put it all behind you. But if you're going to play this victim role, this narrative like you were cheated on by somebody that you were holding down, and he not only betrayed everybody else, but he betrayed you too, and you're going to lean into that, that's some punk ass shit for you to do as a woman, and it's disloyal. You don't have to do all that. All you got to do is get moving and start rebuilding. That's it. But anyway, so I just wanted to pitch my 10 in on this conversation. Sound off in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. And I'll see you on the next one.